Alright, I guess I'll give this one more shot on the heavy vehicle. Unfortunately, no more roof hopping this time, probably, as cool as that was. But, why do the bigger vehicles get the smaller roads? I don't get it. These things cannot right themselves. It's quite annoying. Okay. Something just keeps telling me, huh? Maybe these heavy routes do exist for a reason. Maybe there's something to them. Every time I try, I'm proven wrong. It feels like literally every time. I just keep thinking to myself, surely I'm exaggerating, and it's not actually that the heavy routes are just strictly inferior. But it is so hard to find any counterexamples here. It is ridiculous. Like, no, I'm not going to try to take, again, that heavy route. I recall what happened last time, vaguely. Also, this one's just flatter and lets you go faster and everything. Like, it's strictly better, the light route. Why would I not take the light route? Here the heavy route seems straighter. Which, okay, that has some obvious appeal to it. Okay, here the heavy route is also way straighter again, but also yeah, definitely much tougher to navigate. By design, I imagine. That's what you get in exchange for it being a straighter route by most other metrics. Look how, geez, they even directly have you jump between, they put you on a narrow road and then you have to jump between two things. They're really trying to make it as tough as they can. Me and my indecision, I couldn't, of course I'll respawn now on uphill ground. I couldn't decide whether to take the heavy road or not because of how it usually goes. And the indecision messed me up. I probably would have been fine taking that one too. Well, granted, it is pretty thin. If you don't hit it perfectly straight, as has been observed before, we know what happens. You know, flipping over on it or something. This was one where it looked like taking this route seemed more efficient, if I remember correctly. Because again, it seems straighter, I think. Maybe not this one. Yeah, I don't enjoy these, like, super thin path later, point-to-points. These no longer feel like this game's analog to the, Enduro races. Because the Enduro races where you just get from point A to point B however you want. This game is, instead, you just follow some network of extremely thin paths, particularly if you're on heavy roads. And by following those very strictly, you could eventually get to the end. I guess these paths might have the idea of like higher risk versus higher reward, but lots of them with all the jumps they have too also just slow you down like crazy anyways. That went worse. Alright, well, I guess let's just not use the vehicle we like to use, just because it's being made inferior for these races now. It's great. I really don't enjoy these point-to-points that much. Like, it has some spectacle having all the vehicle types together. Getting to choose sounds fun until you realize that half the choices are worthless. And why are they out of order? This is the ATV that I want. You can't compare the stats of the two bikes or the two ATVs if they're not next to each other. But then the half the routes they offer you are stupid. Oh well. What do I want to give to have Enduro back, though, from the previous game? All my favorite things back in Theory 3. Alright, well. Now the roads are even wider for me, the light vehicle roads that is, because I'm smaller. And on the occasion that I do take a heavy vehicle road, if it has jumps, well, I handle them better, because I'm in a vehicle that's better at jumps now. And if not, I'm better at taking the thin routes that they frequently offer you. Like, look, I'm in 40th place already now compared to where I was in the other attempts. It's not like I'm really good at the ATV compared to other vehicle types or anything either. Like, I have a harder time with the ATV and the ATV races. Like, you saw I did in the last ATV race. I really think of myself as being worse with this vehicle type. The game, you know, I don't know why I said the game precisely, but physics kind of worked against me there. I dropped for a second, and my momentum just carried me straight. I didn't have a chance to turn. Of course, the reason I dropped like I was basically I was out too far on the inside of the turn. Really? Nothing obligated you to let go of your handlebars there, man. Well, now we're back into 39th like we were in the other vehicle, but that's after having had multiple issues. Whereas we'd be further behind than that if we were having the same problems with another vehicle. Here I might actually say, hey, let's take the heavy route, because it's actually feasible to do with the light vehicle. Also notice that all the other vehicles on the heavy route are actually light vehicles. I don't think that's a coincidence. I should see on the minimap what vehicle someone's in. Or even just if it's heavy or light. It'd be kind of nice to know when I'm about to try to pass. Okay. Another one of those forks where you can't actually see the fork until you're right up against it. You really have to look at the minimap all the time. But even then, by the time you can see the fork, whoops, you're slamming into the middle of the fork. And it's clear how they also put some effort into making these races happen technologically too, because of how they have to stream in the opponents and so on. It's just, I don't think it was worth it in the end. Okay. Oh, also, from what something I got a glimpse at in the game's XML at one point was, it seems like there are specific songs that are supposed to play on specific point-to-points or something like that too. I haven't fully understood what the deal with that is. What is it on my speed? Only managing 30-30 or barely. Meaning 30-30 for a while now. No, look, there were the caution signs, and you think, okay, there might be a gap I have to cross, and then I just didn't have to cross a gap. That was why I relived them. Okay, at this point we're just playing menu music. This is the climactic final race the game has, just playing menu music over a race. And by that I mean the previous song and this one together, both. Not that I mind about audio slave or anything, but really. Okay. Yeah, well. Take that, Yoshi. Yeah, Dirk literally cannot win. So, not really concerned. Alright, well, whatever. I'll say that so far South America is not a particularly remarkable point-to-point either, just in the sense that it's just another point-to-point. Doesn't feel like finishing the game material so far, unfortunately, but oh well. I don't think this game's strength is its narrative arc or anything, or its stages following that arc. I think it's just... The narrative is amusing. I guess it doesn't make the game worse. It gives the game some personality too. Hey, look at those guys on the right. I guess I'll just follow peer pressure here. Everyone is going to the right. Cool, thanks. So how bicycles are a thing in this game? I'm not sure I understand how, because as far as I can tell, there's no way to do them deliberately. I would happily do them deliberately, like in the previous game, as extra flatland to get points and doing stunts, which is irrelevant because I was doing freestyle in a two-wheeled vehicle, I guess, but still. I'm down here now. Yeah, you're guys. These fragile little light vehicles, my god. This is all... Why are we just playing menu music in this particular race? This is weird. Anyways, this whole, like, layers on the side of the mountain thing is not doing me many favors. I'd like to get out of this environment if I can. Oh man, that's an engine that sounds like a Fury 3 engine. Yeah, imagine taking a heavy vehicle through this. Have I even seen any heavy vehicles in this race so far? I don't think I have. Again, I think the AI is up to something when no one chooses a heavy vehicle. I think they understand something that they don't bother telling the player. That is that heavy vehicles are just awful at these particular courses. They're supposedly for everyone to race on. There's a buggy or something up ahead. Okay, sure. I do appreciate that these races, for the most part, too, do allow you to go pretty far off the course. By necessity, considering how hard it is to stay on the course in lots of spots, but also, like, it's just refreshing release from the strictness of lots of other races in this game having exactly the opposite issue. Like, by and large, I don't think there's really such a thing as the game being too lenient in letting you go off course, as long as it's not letting you skip stuff in stupid ways. Which isn't usually what's happening, so it's not really a problem. Look how insanely thin that is. That's like the width of a single heavy vehicle. And they say this is a heavy vehicle path? How in the world? Have I gone the heavy versus light vehicle paths swapped or something? At this point, it would make way more sense if that was the case. I can't see the map or anything, can I? No, not from here. I thought the red ones were for the heavy vehicles. So, like, yeah, I can take these pretty comfortably in a light vehicle. Taking that in a heavy vehicle would be insane. Also, hey, I like this part. You just had to give me a reason to stop saying what I was saying, didn't you? But really, that part being a bit more open, you see how on the map they have to contrive it to be like multiple paths, like all next to each other. But I like that part there, where it's actually like a pretty wide. Like a big wide road. Okay, can we take the other vehicles off the road though? Yeah, more very rare heavy vehicles here. Guys, get them off the road, please! I like this. Look how this just opens up. I love this. This is awesome. This feels amazing. I want more like... Look at that gargantuan green blotch on the map there. That's a bunch of green paths, I think, all together. Because this game is just designed... It's programmed to just have, you know, like, there's a path that you have to stay on. If you stray too far from the center of the path, you incur the wrath of God. I think that's how this game works. But it was worth it, them doing that. That felt really cool. I liked that. I wish you could have more of that. Like that alone, those few moments of bliss is what the entirety of the, oh my god, entirety of what the enduro races are. How did I get that much air? I wasn't just, it felt like I was just floating there. Perhaps I shouldn't make an attempt to go up a hill here with the speed I currently have, but oh well. We've committed. What? Bike, you need to stay on all four wheels, not two. Yeah, maybe all the point-to-points are like this, playing menu music the whole time. Nothing stops you from landing in that orientation. Nothing. It's perfectly fine. No matter what society tells you, it's perfectly okay. You also need to land on all four wheels there. Okay, no one really seems to be coming up on me right now. Jeez, this is awful to take a bunch of speed to start with. No one seems to be threatening my position right now, so I guess I can still make it at least. Big and open, I love it. I'll take it. Oh, okay. That was a weird feeling for a second there. I just passed straight through something I thought I would hit. And I thought, oh, apparently there's no collision here anymore. And then I immediately smacked my face on something else behind it. That was a whole episode somehow. Okay, well. More dirt and mud. Alright, we'll continue. Last of that race next time. Oh geez, that's gonna be the last episode for this sitting too. Alright, well, we'll see what happens. Bye everyone.